Hello, this is Tim Law with Playing It Forward Coaching, always encouraging your self-reliance. If you'll set a goal for yourself, uh, develop a marketable skill, chase that skill by always going the extra mile, develop some people and communication skills, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish in this country. A big thank you to almost 600 people that have subscribed to this channel, Playing It Forward Coaching. If you haven't already, please do so. I'd super appreciate it. Also, a big thank you to over 37,000 people that have actually viewed some of these interviews and videos and everything. Much appreciated. I got a very, very neat guy. We're getting him a second time because he's so outstanding. Excellent golfer. Punched his ticket to the state tournament 2 years in a row as a sophomore, now as a junior. Caden Blanchette. So Caden, welcome, and tell us a little bit about that journey.
Thanks for having me on again. It's a great opportunity. Yeah, so this year was definitely a bigger stride by making it 2 years in a row. Regular season went a little bit better this year than it did last year. But really it was just like determination throughout the entire season that helped me get to the state tournament. And I really just I was pretty focused, I would say, from early August all the way until mid-October. I mean, it's a long time, so it's definitely hard at times with being out of school and stuff to stay completely focused on 100% golf, especially when you're not able to practice as much, and time management is definitely a lot harder because you only have a certain amount of hours that you get to practice, and you have a certain amount of hours that you have to put into school too. So it makes it a little bit harder. Um, you want to say something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all good. I just want to make sure you finish what you're saying there. Definitely. Let me ask you this: what was the difference between, let's say, your junior year versus your sophomore year? Because sophomore year, you kind of broke in there. People didn't necessarily know who you were, but the good news is you made the states last year as a sophomore. The challenging news is, you kind of had a bullseye on your back. I'm sure you had people shooting at you there and everything because they know who Caden Blanchette is. So tell us a little bit about, was that a little bit different for you?
I wouldn't say like I had a target on my back. I mean, it definitely helped me get my name out there, and people knew who I was a little bit more, so it helped for like some other communications. But sophomore year, I wouldn't say I got lucky getting to states, but it was definitely like a great accomplishment for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I was really, really proud of it. And yeah, it was just a really great experience to have as a sophomore. This year, I didn't really put too much pressure on myself of making it back this year. I knew that if I just kept putting in like the hard work and staying dedicated, I would, along the line, everything would fall in its place and I would make it again. So that's kind of what happened this year, and it was a good accomplishment again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and the other thing too is, let's face it, as a sophomore, there's guys that are out there, that were seniors and they're no longer there. So, you can have a little more pressure sometimes coming as a junior because you're
Mhm.
expected to make it. And obviously, you did that and everything. Do you have
Right.
any individuals that you'd say would be some of your main competition going into your senior year? Names of people from, different schools that,
Yeah.
you have to have your A game against.
Right. So there's a couple of people that I play with throughout the summer that we just always go head and head during tournaments. So there's one family in Dallastown School District. They have three boys, Lane, Reed, and Mason.
Mhm.
They're all pretty really good players. And can say Central Noah Schultz. I play with him a lot in one of these other tours that I play in over the summer.
Mhm.
So it's like we play over the summer, so I'm pretty comfortable playing with them now, and it's fun going out and playing with all of them. And
Sure.
um yeah, I mean
What,
it's
what,
just
what's the name of the last names of the Dallastown brothers?
Crossy for Lane and Reed, and then Tucker for Mason.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead. How do you feel your game stacks up as far as those guys are concerned?
I mean really it just depends on the day. Like any one of us can go out and beat each other. It depends on the day and depends
Mhm,
on who's feeling themselves pretty much. I mean, I'm confident. I know I can beat every single one of them. It just depends
mhm.
on how I am mentally that day. And that's the thing with golf. Like, if you're not there mentally one day, it could really hurt you for down the long run, pretty much. So you
Sure, sure.
gotta stay on point.
Yeah. Well, I can't, Caden, I can't think of a sport really that is for more mentally challenging, you know.
Hmm.
Physically it doesn't necessarily beat you up. Obviously, emotionally,
No.
you're going to have your ups and downs, but mentally, like you said, you really have to be dialed in the zone. I mean, would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Like one little miscalculation for yardage on one swing can cause a three shot penalty or just
Hmm.
something little like that. And even practice habits, like something I really learned this year heading into states is I was putting in a lot of time. I was doing the hard work, um, but I wasn't really, I wouldn't say focused, but it wasn't precise practice on what I was doing. So that kind of
Hmm.
hurt me when it came down to states time because I was getting a little bit worse as I was getting away from summer. So precision is pretty much key in golf.
Sure, sure. No, absolutely agree with that. Also, and again, with the coaching I've done, whether it was wrestling or guys or girls tennis or whatever, is
Hmm.
how important is let's say as far as golf, and I think it's very important probably is short memory. If you hit one that
Yeah.
it doesn't go real well, how important is it to kind of let that go so you don't cascade the wrong way?
Yeah, it's definitely the better players are able to do that pretty quickly. I saw a Tiger Woods quote that pretty much said what you just said. Like
Hmm.
the quicker you're able to get rid of that, the little stuff, the better it will be for you, and just completely focus on what's in front of you, and pretty much just attacking the next problem with all you got.
Sure, sure. Well, and in my childhood here, growing up, was a guy named Jack Nicklaus with 18
Hmm.
majors. Had the opportunity about 4 decades ago to actually meet him. The guy was so down there, so amazing. And I'd watched him play a lot, and it was interesting because he could hit a shot, and it really wasn't where he wanted it, but he would just go right back and kind of take another practice swing and just visualize. He was one of the earliest
Hmm.
visualizers in golf, and he could just basically, like I say, let that last one go and
Right.
kind of regroup a little bit. So,
Yeah.
obviously Woods has that ability too. So,
Hmm.
any particular golfers that you look up to, Caden?
I have a couple that are like not popular opinion because they just joined the Live Tour.
Sure, sure.
But so like those two would be Bryson and Phil.
Hmm.
So Bryson was very mathematical, and I'm into like science and math, so I
Hmm.
just liked his approach on the game differently. I thought it was unique, and I just thought it was a cool way of looking at the game differently. And Phil's just being Phil, so he was a cool guy.
Hmm.
But in general, I mean, Arnie was a really, really cool guy. He was a guy of the people, and everyone loved Arnie. So yeah, those are pretty much my main three that I
Yeah.
look up to.
Yeah, the thing is with Arnold Palmer, is I'm assuming you're talking about here, is that
Hmm.
he turned really the golf into kind of like almost like a rock star event. I mean, he had Arnie's Army, and
Right.
people followed him all over the place, and he really golf was kind of it. Obviously, it's been a gentleman's sport and everything, but Palmer really opened it up to the masses, and probably can get some
Yeah.
credit for Tiger Woods and a lot of the other guys that followed him that got in because of what Arnie did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So okay, going forward now, and again, we're going to just almost kind of finish this up here shortly. What are your goals for next year, and then beyond high school, Caden? What are you thinking here?
So some short-term goals. So right now I'm in the gym and at a local practice facility. So I'm trying to gain speed and strength while also being flexible throughout the
Mm-hmm.
winter,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll help me stay more conditioned and hit the ball a little bit further when it comes to the summer next year. And um, so there's a thing called the Junior Golf Scoreboard,
Mm-hmm.
and that keeps all of your stats for golfers, and it's a key to being recruited. And my goal is to get it below 0. Right now I'm at a 2.2, and it was all the way at like I think it was at an 8 as of April last year.
Yeah,
So I brought it down 6 shots.
explain that system a little bit, Caden, because again, you're dealing with a lot of people that'll watch this, but won't. I want you to translate what that means to us guys that are more duffers than we are golfers.
Yeah. So we'll use the 2.2 that I'm at right now.
Mhm,
So I'm averaging, say you're at a par 72 course,
mhm,
and the average stroke differential is 72.
mhm.
That means that I would be shooting a 74.2 on
Okay,
average. So
okay,
it's 2.2 above what the hardness of the course pretty much
okay.
is.
Is it kind of like a handicap system?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah,
Okay,
it
okay,
calculates like, I think it's somewhat near like 75% of the scores that are put in to
mhm.
2-day tournaments.
Gotcha, gotcha. I see. Very good. Well, Caden, this
Yeah.
has been wonderful. Any last second thoughts here, or things you could say to up and comer people that young people that want to take up this great sport?
For any youngsters, just it's all about falling in love with the game and learning about yourself. Like I've learned a lot about myself through the game, and
Mhm,
just um learning how to bounce back from bad days. Like every sport's different. But golf, it's like it's a love-hate relationship sometimes, where it's some days it really just beats you down to your knees, and the
mhm.
next day it's, if you love it, you're back out on the course trying to grind it out the next day and figuring it out. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's really just having the passion for it and working hard. That's what's going to make a difference for you and your game.
Sure, sure. Well, I followed some of the very best people for many decades now, and I'll say this is that golf, as far as a group of professionals, and that's for the men's and the women, there's no sport that has a higher standard of decorum, behaviors overall, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I love the ice hockey guys, but they would be kind of the 180 degrees difference from you
Yeah.
golfers, that's for sure.
Right.
So yeah, but anyway, yeah, awesome. And let's stay in close touch with each other here. Can you hang for a minute when we get done?
Yeah, of course.
Very good, very good. Well, that was fantastic, Kate. Thank you for the great information, and we're wishing everybody here at the Bobcat Nation at Northeastern and wishing you a very successful senior year coming up. That's for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.